aftermath of World War II, a defeated and morally shattered Germany was carved into zones of occupation controlled by the victorious Allied powers, the United States, Great Britain, and France in the West, and the Soviet Union in the East. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd also love to read your comments. Let me know where you're watching from. This division was mirrored in the nation's capital, Berlin. Though located deep within the Soviet sector, Berlin itself was also split into 4 administrative sectors, with the western half becoming a democratic island surrounded by a sea of Soviet-controlled territory. This geographical anomaly created an immediate, intense logistical problem. The only land routes supplying the 2.2 million people in West Berlin, a highway, a railway, and several canals, traversed over 100 miles of Soviet-occupied East Germany. The Western Allies were entirely dependent on the goodwill of their former ally, Joseph Stalin, who was rapidly becoming their new adversary in the emerging Cold War. The fragile stability shattered in June 1948. The point of contention was currency reform. To revitalize Germany's economy, the Western Allies introduced a new currency, the Deutsche Mark, in their zones. Fearing this would weaken his own grip on East Germany, Stalin retaliated with a ruthless gambit. On June 24th, he ordered a full-scale blockade of West Berlin, cutting off all land and water access. Every road was barricaded, every railway line severed. The message was chillingly simple. Without the ability to bring in food, medicine, and coal for power, West Berlin would face starvation and collapse, forcing the Western Allies to surrender the city to Soviet control. For Stalin, this was a strategic masterstroke. After the unimaginable devastation Germany had inflicted on the Soviet Union during the war, he felt little sympathy for the plight of Berlin citizens. The Western Allies faced a dire choice. Military action, such as an armored column forcing its way through the blockade, was deemed too aggressive and risked sparking a Third World War. Yet capitulating to Stalin's blackmail was unthinkable, as it would hand a massive propaganda victory to the Soviets and abandon millions to a totalitarian fate. Their solution was both audacious and, to many, utterly implausible: an unprecedented airlift. They would supply a modern metropolis entirely by air. Skeptics were quick to point out the staggering obstacles. Unlike trains and trucks, cargo planes of the era had limited capacity, were exorbitantly expensive to operate, and were constrained by the limited capacity of Berlin's airports, which could only handle one landing at a time. The initial efforts, dubbed Operation Vittles, seemed to confirm these doubts, managing to deliver only a fraction of the 4,500 tons of supplies needed daily to keep the city alive. However, the Western Allies persisted. The very act of attempting the impossible created a powerful wave of global public relations momentum. The image of brave pilots risking their lives to save a former enemy captured the world's hearts and minds. In a remarkable turn, the British public, who had endured German bombs just years earlier, began sending care packages. Berliners, once shooting at these same Allied airmen, now greeted them with waves and gratitude. This moral victory provided the political justification for the United States and its allies to invest fully in the mission. To professionalize the operation, the U.S. brought in General William H. Tunner, a logistics mastermind who had successfully run an airlift over the hump of the Himalayas during World War II. Tunner revolutionized the Berlin airlift. He implemented a meticulously coordinated system where planes flew in stacked altitudes along precise air corridors, descending into Berlin's airports in a continuous stream, landing every 3 minutes. He introduced rigorous maintenance schedules, optimized loading and unloading procedures, even for larger C-54 Skymasters, and ensured that a plane never sat idle on the tarmac for more than 30 minutes. Under his command, efficiency soared, and the airlift soon began delivering over 5,000 tons a day. Stalin, confident that the harsh German winter would ground the airlift, watched and waited. His confidence was not entirely misplaced. Thick fog, icy runways, and blinding snow made flying treacherous. Planes crashed, and 75 airmen and ground personnel lost their lives in the effort. Yet through sheer determination and skill, the air crews persevered, and the flow of supplies not only continued but increased, reaching a staggering 13,000 tons per day at its peak. The operation also became a campaign of compassion. American pilot Gail Halvorson, the candy bomber, began dropping tiny parachutes with candy and gum for the children gathered at the airport fences. This initiative grew into Operation Santa Claus, where American airmen brought Christmas gifts to thousands of Berlin's children. After 15 months and over 270,000 flights, the airlift had become an undeniable and humiliating failure for Stalin. The world saw the Soviets as willing to starve civilians for political gain, while the Western Allies were seen as heroic saviors. On May 12, 1949, with no concessions made, Stalin was forced to lift the blockade. The Western Allies had not only saved a city, but had also won a monumental Cold War victory, all without firing a single shot.